We'll start in child's pose. Thank you so much for joining me and getting me out of my own head today. So thanks for hanging out with me for a little bit. So come on down to your mats. Start softening, softening the body. Start releasing the thoughts about the day to come and try and bring yourself inward a little bit. So child's pose, extended child's pose is going to be knees out to the wide edge of your mat. Big toes touching. Release the bottom to the heels and then start stretching the body all the way out. Fingertips spread wide and then releasing the forehead down. So if any of this doesn't feel good, so you could always bring in a pillow or a blanket to rest your forehead on. You could also tuck that pillow or blanket right under your bottom to give a little bit of extra space. But as you find the space that feels good to you, start softening. Softening the skin of the face, releasing the jaw. Seeing if you can release any of the muscles that are helping you get into the posture. So really noticing, like scanning from the top of the head all the way to the bottoms of the feet, noticing where you might be holding that doesn't allow the body to release. And just softening those areas a little bit. Keeping your grounding connection to the earth, but also releasing any pressure from the neck. Maybe drawing in the belly button just a little bit to hold the body and protect the lower spine. Feel the fingertips connected with the earth. Notice where your breath is today. And just by noticing the breath, see if it just slows down a little bit. And as you slow the breath, allow the mind to slow down with it. Scanning the body once again, see if you're holding on to any stress or any tension from last night. Noticing where your body is today. Maybe bringing in a little morning gratitude. Maybe just gratitude for showing up for yourself this morning. Maybe setting an intention to be just a little more patient with yourself today. Knowing that patience for yourself has a trickle-down effect. We're all in tight quarters, even if we have space in our homes. So showing yourself a little patience and grace helps you to share that with the people that you're serving around you. Starting to deepen the breath, knowing the breath is magic. Taking a deep breath in through the nose, filling the stomach, expanding the ribs, sipping into the chest, holding at the top. Long, slow exhales, drawing the belly button all the way into the backbone. And continuing that deep breath in and long breath out. And knowing that the magic comes from bringing all of that air, bringing all of that energy into the body, also softens your central nervous system. And if you're noticing, we could use a little bit of relaxing. We could use a little bit of calm. We're taking in a lot of information right now. We also need to let some of that energy that's storing within us, we need to find ways to let it go. So taking a deep breath, especially getting into that practice, knowing how it feels when you feel calm and centered, allows your body to remember how to use it when the stress level is high or the anxiety is high. So really practicing now to prepare for when you really do need it, and you really need to bring that breath in and out to calm calm the body down. It helps us to not just react, it helps us to respond, and it helps us to respond with a little bit more love and patience and calm. And knowing that we're probably with the people we love the most, maybe that's a good thing. So continuing in child's pose, one more deep breath in through the nose, filling the stomach, expanding the ribs, sipping into the chest, holding at the top. Long, slow exhale, draining the breath from the chest, the ribs, and then drawing the belly button all the way into the backbone. Slightly bringing the body up, keeping the gaze towards the floor, and then moving the arms, moving the hands off to the right hand side, stacking the left hand over the right, and then allowing the body to release down towards the floor again. Starting to open up the side body, continuing to keep your jaw released and soft. Continuing to breathe in through the nose, long, slow exhales. On your next exhale, coming back to center, really sinking down now. And then tenting the hands so only the fingertips are pressed into the earth, feeling a tiny bit different stretch through the arms. And then on your next exhale, walking the hands off to the left hand side, stacking the right hand over top of the left, allowing the body to sink down once more. Deep inhales and exhales. On the next exhale, releasing back towards center. Take one breath here. And slowly coming up. Just coming to a seated, cross-legged position. As I was going through this sequence this morning, I was a little bit concerned about your neck. So just kind of opening the neck up before we continue, dropping left ear to left shoulder, drawing the belly button in to protect that lower spine. And then coming back to center, sending the right ear to right shoulder, keeping your alignment, finding those sit bones connected with the earth. If your knees or your legs need a little break, you can always release them and shake them out. Coming back to neutral, dropping the chin all the way down to the chest. And if it feels good, just making small semicircles, or if it's in your practice, sending the neck all the way around in one direction and the other, nice and slow. And then coming back. Instead of child's pose, we're going to bring the knees a little bit closer together, coming into puppy pose. So like I said before, puppy pose is kind of, it's a modification of down dog. So our knees and the tops of our feet are going to stay connected with the earth. Hips are going to be raised high, arms extended in front of us, and lower the forehead towards the earth. So not swaying in the back, really engage the core to keep a nice long spine. Fingers are spread wide, fingertips pressed into the earth. And trying to stack the hips right over the knees, allowing the armpits to sink down towards the earth. And always, if you want to bring the earth closer to you, tucking a towel or a blanket or a pillow right underneath your forehead, helps to get you there. One more long breath here in through the nose. And then on the exhale, dropping the elbows down, extending the legs behind you. One hand on top of the other, placing the forehead down towards the earth. Deep inhales and exhales. Bending at the knees, windshield wipering back and forth. and release. Sliding the hands right next to the chest. We're still warming up, drawing the elbows in, small baby cobra. So really slowly bringing a little movement into the spine. So pressing the earth away from the body. Chest is lifted. Shoulders dropped away from the ears. Slowly inhale and rise, and on the exhale, slowly coming back down towards the earth. Pressing the earth away, inhale. Not bringing a big back bend into this pose. Nice and slow, warming up that spine. Elbows are tucked in, inhale, lift. Exhale, slowly lower. Inhale, lift. And slowly exhale to lower. One last time, inhale, lift. Long, slow exhale to lower. One hand on top of the other, windshield wiper the legs back and forth. And then release the legs. Lifting just the legs up now. So forehead can still stay right on top of the stacked hands. And then really extend those legs behind you, and on the inhale, start to lift the legs. So engage the glutes, strengthen the legs, as if someone's pulling the toes away from you. And just letting the legs hover there for a moment. Continue to breathe in through the nose, long, slow exhales. Soften the jaw. And on the next exhale, slowly release. Sweeping the hands to the side, forehead connected with the mat. Inhale, lift the shoulders and just slightly the chest off of the ground. Legs are relaxed behind you. Engage the core to protect that lower spine. Shoulders dropped away from the ears. Continue to breathe. One more breath here, and on the exhale, slowly release. One hand on top of the other, bending at the knees, and windshield wipering back and forth. And slowly release. Sweeping the arms to the side one more time. Inhale, this time lifting the chest and the legs, really allowing those toes to be pulled away from the body. Palms face down, shoulders away from the ears. Gaze right at the front of the mat, so not craning the neck up too far. Core is engaged. Glutes and legs are strong. Arms are strong. Continue to breathe. And then on the next exhale, slowly release. One hand on top of the other, forehead to the top of the hand. And take 3 deep breaths here. After your third breath, bend the right knee, and without really going into even a modified bow, reach the right arm behind. You can keep your forehead placed right on top of the hand, and just start stretching that quad. So pressing the top of the right foot into the hand, but no need to bring a back bend into this pose. Feeling the hip bones pressed into the earth. One more breath, inhale, and on the exhale, slowly releasing, switching sides. So bending the left knee, the top of the left foot pressed into the left hand, releasing the forehead down, feeling the very front part of the hips pressed into the earth. One more inhale, and on the exhale, slowly release. And then just rolling to one side, pushing the body up into your tabletop. Nice long spine here. Shoulders over wrists, hips over knees. Take a deep breath in through the nose, pressing the fingertips into the mat, maybe a micro bend in the elbows. On the exhale, curling into cat pose, tucking the tailbone, dropping the chin to the chest. Slowly opening up the shoulders and the upper spine by moving the shoulders slowly back and forth. On the next inhale, coming into cow, so lifting the tailbone up, looking towards the front of the mat, allowing the belly button to drop towards the mat. And now opening up the hips, so moving the hips slowly side to side. And then coming back to a neutral spine on your next exhale, start flowing from cat to cow. So exhale for cat. Really get rid of all of that exhale. And then on your next inhale, scooping to come into cow. And just follow your breath 3 more cycles. So exhaling into cow, exhaling into cat, inhaling into cow. So flow with your own breath, nice long inhales and exhales. And at any time you feel like you want to hold the position just to open up the shoulders in cat or open the hips up a little bit more in cow, take your time. This is your practice today. I'm just here to guide you. After your last exhale, come back to your neutral spine. Bringing the left hand into center from tabletop, pressing the fingertips into the earth, and then releasing the right arm up towards the sky, keeping the hips neutral. Just bringing that gaze up towards the fingertips. If that feels too much, you can keep the gaze towards the ground. Micro bend in the left elbow. See if you can keep your hips centered and neutral. And then slowly releasing, bringing the right hand to center, micro bend in the right elbow, releasing the left arm up to twist to the other side. Keeping the hips neutral and square to the front of the mat. Slowly release. Knees out to the long edge of the mat, pushing the body down into extended child's pose. Take 2 long breaths here. And then after your second breath, coming back up to tabletop, shoulders over the wrists, hips over the knees, extending the right leg behind, toes connected with the earth. Engage the core, micro bend in the right elbow, release the left arm up, thumb facing up, fingers pointed forward. And then on your next inhale, lifting that right leg up. So left arm extended, right leg extended. Core is engaged, feeling the balance, keeping kind of a gaze on a spot to keep your balance. Continue to breathe, release any tension from the jaw. 1 more breath, and then slowly exhale. Doing 1 cat-cow here, so on the inhale, exhale, curl into cat. Inhale for cow pose. And return to neutral spine. Extending the left leg behind, toes connected with the earth. Right arm extended, thumbs pointed up, micro bend in that left elbow. On your next inhale, lift the left leg up. Engage the core. Soften the jaw and breathe. Deep inhales and exhales. And release. Coming back to tabletop, bringing the knees to the wide edge of the mat into extended child's pose. Release the whole body down for 3 deep breaths. Inhales and exhales, releasing all of the muscles. Maybe give yourself a little bit of praise, even though we're in the first part of the sequence. I know my body's already feeling it. And let that feeling remind you that that's helping move some of the stress out of the body. It's helping to move some of those hard feelings away and give a little bit more space for calm, a little bit more space for being able to notice the joy and the blessings. So know that the strength of your body is helping you move through this too. Coming back up to tabletop. So taking just a moment to reset. And then we're going into plank pose. So you know plank, you can do full plank, forearm plank, or you can even do assisted plank. There's also from tabletop, this is a little bit easier on the body. Once you set up shoulders over wrists and hips over knees, you can press the tops of the feet into the mat and just lift the knees up. You'll immediately feel a full engagement of the core and really tighten that core. You'll feel like, you'll feel everything engaged like you're in plank. It's just a little bit easier on the whole body. So join me where your body feels like it needs to be today. If you're going into full plank, really focus on the shoulders being over the wrists, stepping the feet back one at a time, pressing into the heels, and then moving the hands back so that they remain right under the shoulders. So as you push into the heels, you might feel the body shift all the way back. So engage the core, protecting that lower spine. Fingertips pressed into the earth. Soften the jaw so that you can breathe fully. Inhale through the nose. Fill the body with air and energy. Long, slow exhales. One more deep breath wherever you are. And on the exhale, slowly coming back down, pushing the bottom to the heels in hero pose. So stacking shoulders over, stacking ears over shoulders, shoulders over hips, and just taking a moment to reset. Soften the jaw, maybe even close the eyes, draw the top of the head up towards the sky. Bring the belly button in towards the backbone. See if you can slow the breathing down just by noticing it. And then clasping hands with yourself behind the back, sending those fists down towards the earth to open the shoulders, open the chest and the heart, looking up towards the sky. Knowing there's a chance we're all looking at our phones and our tablets and our laptops too much, kids included. The rules feel all different right now. So really counteracting that hunching and the closing off the way that we naturally protect the body by opening the heart, opening up the chest. Soften the jaw. Continue to breathe. And then slowly on the next exhale, release. Maybe draw that right arm in front. No pressure on the elbows here. And then switching sides, so holding the left arm in front of the chest, extending the fingertips out, and release. So I'm going to enter, you don't need to move positions on your mat unless you want to. I'm just going to move so that you can see me. So from hero pose, we're going to lift up right on the knees. Tops of the feet are planted into the mat. And then I want you to extend the right leg out. Try and press the whole right foot into the mat. You might have a little bit of space on that right edge of the right foot. And then really check in with your hips here. See if you can get them even. And this is gate pose. So I'm going to slide my right hand down the right leg, lifting the left arm up and over and feeling a really nice opening of the left hand side. Gaze can be up towards the hands or down towards the earth. Listening to your body and slowly coming back to neutral. So being able to send the body to the other side. If this is not available to you, you can always lean forward and still get a nice stretch through that inner leg. Slowly, if you want to do the other side, slowly lower to the left-hand side. Bring the fingertips or the whole palm planted, lifting the arm up and over, finding that nice long line from the fingertips all the way to the right side of the foot. And then slowly bringing that left hand down, almost like we're setting up for sunbird again. So I'm back to a tabletop with the right leg extended, and then drawing that right leg up and through the hands into a low runner's lunge. Taking just a moment here to set up, really look at the right knee over the right ankle. Planting the left hand, opening the right arm up to twist in your low runner's lunge. If you feel like getting a little tricky, turn those left toes under and straighten the left leg. So we have more of a high runner's lunge, even though our upper body is still low and twisted. Feeling the strength of that left leg. If you've remained in low runner's lunge, A-okay. And then slowly, as you feel ready, lower the right arm back to the earth, lower the left knee, and sweep the right back to tabletop. Taking just a moment, take a deep breath in through the nose, exhale into cat, inhale into cow, and returning to neutral spine. And then of course setting up for the other side. So I'm going to again turn towards you for this part. Extending the left leg out. Try and press the four corners of the foot into the mat. And then lifting up for gate pose. So left hand slides down the left leg. Inhale the right arm up and over, opening that right hand side. Soften the jaw, continue to breathe. And then slowly, as you feel ready, lowering the right hand down towards the earth, lifting the left arm up and over. Finding a nice long line from the fingertips all the way to the left edge of the foot. Soften the jaw. Keep the core engaged to protect that spine. And on your next exhale, lowering back down to your tabletop, keeping that left leg extended. Drawing the left knee in towards between the hands, left knee over left ankle, planting the right hand right next to the instep of the left foot, extending the left arm up to twist. And then again, if you want to turn the right toes under, extending into a high runner's lunge. Core is engaged. Shoulders released away from the ears. Continue to breathe. On the next exhale, release the left hand and then start walking that right foot up towards the left foot into a forward fold. Nice deep bend here to allow the top of the body to drape. Be kind to your body. Releasing the top of the head towards the earth. So even if you've got the whole top of your body resting on your lap, it's okay. Be gentle with your body. Soften the jaw, continue to breathe. And then slowly, as you feel ready, start bringing the whole body back up, being mindful of the blood that has been sent towards your brain and your heart, taking your time. So again, I'm going to face you guys as we come to our first standing pose. So inhale the arms up and over, palms pressed together, core is engaged. Exhale to heart center, thumbs to the heart, reminding us we're all connected one to another. We're all in this together. So I'm facing the long edge of the mat just so that you can see me a little bit better. We have done Shiva in the past. So you're going to be stepping, we're going to start by balancing on the left and bringing the right toes in front of you, turning the knee out towards the right hand side. So kind of rotating out. So you'll already feel an opening and a stretch in that right hip. Ears over shoulders, shoulders over hips. Engage the core. So bring that belly button all the way into the backbone. And then on your next inhale, lifting the toes from the ground. If this is not in your practice today, if you're not feeling balance, keep the toes connected. You can still already feel the engagement of the hip. You can feel the engagement of the core. And if you want to go deeper, you can bend into that left knee. Just don't drop the torso forward. Really just lower by bending at the knee. Keeping everything engaged. You can find a spot to look at to keep your balance a little bit more. Soften the jaw, continue the breath. And on the next exhale, release down, bringing that right foot crossed over the left. So even if you just went back to mountain pose, now just cross the right foot over the left. Inhale the arms up and over, engage the core. On the exhale, slowly release into a cross-legged fold. Soften the knees so you're not locking them out. Drawing the nose towards the knee. Continue the breath. And then slowly, as you feel ready, rolling the body back up to standing, taking your time, and then uncrossing the legs into mountain pose. Inhale the arms up and over, pressing the palms together. Inhale, and then on the exhale, bringing the arms into a V. Maybe sliding those arms right next to the ears, or maybe even slightly behind. Core is engaged, legs are engaged. You can feel big toe, little toe, heel planted into the earth. Continue to breathe. And then lower the arms down, coming back into Shiva on the other side. So left toes are staying engaged, turning that left knee out to the side. Find your alignment, so ears, shoulders, shoulders, hips. Engage the core. And then as you feel ready, slowly lift the toes away from the earth. You can even bend into the right knee. Finding balance. Slowing the breath, being patient and kind with yourself. Whole body is engaged here. One more breath on the inhale, and then slowly on the exhale, lowering that left foot, crossing over the right. Inhale the arms up and over, press the palms together. And on the exhale, forward fold with the cross-legged. Drawing the nose towards the knee. And then softly allow the body to come up. Roll one vertebra at a time, stepping the feet back into mountain pose, so hip width apart. Slowly letting your brain catch up. And then binding the hands behind you, so holding hands with yourself, sending the fists down towards the earth, opening the chest, opening the heart. Inhale. And then on the exhale, bending at the knees, keeping the arms bound, so keeping the hands clasped together, and really draping the top of the body over your lap. Softening the jaw, releasing the head towards the earth, reminding yourself there's no pain in yoga. So at any time, maybe dial this one back a little bit. If it feels good, continue to lower the top top of the head towards the earth, allowing the arms to stay clasped. And then on your next exhale, slowly bringing the arms back towards the body, releasing them all the way down, planting the hands, and then stepping back into your tabletop. Bringing the knees out to the long edge of the mat, pushing down into child's pose, arms released away from the body. Deep inhales and exhales, release all the muscles here. After your third exhale, slowly coming up, bringing the body into a seated position, still letting your head catch up, or at least mine. Maybe this is what I needed to do yesterday. Sometimes those inversions, boy, they can kind of right any wrongs, getting the blood back to where you need it to be. So rocking just side to side a little bit to find those sit bones, even if that means moving the booty out of the way just a little bit so that you're really feeling that connection with the earth. Legs extended out in front of you, knees and toes are pointed up. So for staff pose, staff pose is just sitting, feeling the heels, the bottom connected with the earth. Checking in with your alignment, ears over shoulders, shoulders over hips. And then if you'd like, you can press the palms of the hands into the earth. We're all made differently, you guys. So if the palms of your hands don't connect with the earth, just use your fingertips. It's cool. So pressing in where you are. Core is engaged. And then slowly lifting just the heels. So just the heels off of the ground. You'll feel the whole legs engage. Toes are pointed up, knees are pointed up, core is engaged here. Soften the jaw, continue to breathe. One more deep breath in through the nose, and then on the exhale, slowly release the heels down and maybe shake it out. Crossing right over left, really planting the four corners of the feet into the earth. Tucking that right leg in towards the body, and then taking the left elbow and wrapping it around the right knee. So we're coming into a staff twist. So I'm going to take my right arm behind, fingertips away from the body. On the inhale, lengthen the spine, and on the exhale, twisting. Each inhale lengthening, each exhale twisting a little bit deeper. All of these twists ringing out and hugging the inside of the body. If you've been to my live class, I'm a little bit animated. Maybe a little bit more so than here. But those internal organs need the hug just as much as us huggers need the hug. I'm missing some of my hugs. My kids are probably sick of hugging me so much, but I'm a firm believer in the 12 hugs a day theory. Even if that means I have to hug my dog extra or hug myself extra. And then slowly unwinding, releasing the arm from behind, and switching sides. So left is crossed over the right. Really tuck that left knee in, and then bring the right elbow around the left knee, release the left behind. Inhale, lengthen, exhale, twist. And again, each inhale, you're lengthening the spine. Each exhale, you're twisting a tiny bit deeper. Continuing the breath, soften the jaw. And then on your next exhale, slowly release. Taking just a minute, we're going to open up the hips a little bit more. So bringing the bottom, I'm just going to turn towards you a little bit so you can see me. It's hard to know what you're seeing on that side just because of the comments that are coming through and stuff. So I'm holding on to the outside of my right foot, and I'm gently just guiding this right knee. So no pressure on the knee. You know how I feel about knees. Got to take care of them. Got to be gentle with them. and then just slowly rocking side to side to open up that right hip. So really taking your time, just opening it up. We're moving into a half lotus from staff pose here. So half lotus would be bringing the top of the foot in towards the crease of the leg here, and then allowing that right knee to drop away from the body. If that brings any tension to your right knee, you shouldn't be doing it. Let's dial it back a little bit. So if that is not available to you today, drop that right foot towards the inner thigh, or even extending it even further. You can still sit up nice and tall and press that right thigh away from the body, okay? So decide where you are today. I'm not there to look at you to see if you're wincing, to see if you're making any faces at me. We should maybe do a Zoom sometime so that I can see all of that. That would be fun. Okay, so if you're doing half lotus, top of the foot is brought in towards the crease of the left leg, slightly, very slightly pushing that right thigh away from the body. No tugging in the knee. Posture is nice and tall, so ears, shoulders, shoulders, hips. Engage the core always. That's usually, unless I'm telling you to release all the muscles, it's always good practice to protect that back. And you get a little extra core love. So knee is pointed up and left toes are pointed up. Slowly release, switching sides. So now opening up the left-hand side, rocking side to side. And then bringing that the top of the left foot in towards the crease of the right leg. Remembering your modifications, really feeling the sit bones pressed into the earth, right knee and right toes pointed up towards the sky. Very gently pressing that left leg away from the body. Taking deep breaths. This is how we get centered. This is how we get ready for another day of quarantine, people. Just keep breathing. Bring that beautiful energy in towards the body. Keep that blood flowing good. Maybe do an inversion. And if you happen to check in with me and I'm telling you I'm having an off day, tell me to get into a downward dog or remind me in my own words. That would be great. And then slowly, as you feel ready, releasing all the way down. So your choice. If I haven't done enough core work for you today, you can always do modified boat to bring the whole body down to the mat. Modified boat, if you're just joining me for the first time, is really keeping the feet connected with the earth. Nice long spine. So we were just talking about the sit bones. For boat pose, we always rock away from the sit bones, but nice long spine. Engage the core. If you want to modify this to get your body all the way down, really engage that core and really slowly release the body down to the mat. Try to keep the feet or the toes connected. You'll have to kind of tilt the pelvis so that you don't drop down. Try not to drop down. And then slowly release. Bring the knees in towards the body and just rock side to side. Sending the knees in one direction and the other. And then maybe, since we are trying to start our day grounded, maybe bring those knees in towards the armpits, grab onto the big toes with your peace fingers, drawing those knees in towards the body, like using the strength of your arms to really pull the body into happy baby. And then just slowly rocking side to side. You can also hold on to the backs of the thighs. See if you can release those shoulders down towards the earth just a little bit more. Maybe bring a smile to your face if it didn't naturally come doing happy baby. Soften the jaw, continue the breath. And then slowly bringing those knees back into the body. Bottoms of the feet together, maybe holding to the base of the legs. Bottoms of the feet together on reclined butterfly. You can even rock slowly side to side here. You can play with the idea of extending one leg out Just switching sides to keep yourself even. Or even open up into a wide-legged stance. Wherever you are, bringing the bottoms of the feet back together. And then drawing those feet up towards the sky, bring the fingertips underneath the hips, engage the core. Feel the shoulders connected with the earth. Soften the jaw. Your count of 10. Lower those heels all the way down. If you've had enough today, you can just release the legs down. We're just getting ready for Shavasana. I hope you're excited. I hope you like Shavasana. It's probably the hardest pose because we allow ourselves to get still, and that doesn't come naturally. It takes practice. Slowly releasing the heels all the way down. Maybe invite in any last poses. Maybe you need one more spinal twist. I feel like we did some good hip openers and twists today. But whatever you feel like you might need, maybe even a reclined butterfly, so allowing the body to release down, shoulders and hips pressed into the earth, bottom of the feet together. Just start the process of releasing. If you set an intention for the practice today about being more patient with yourself today, so that you can allow that trickle-down effect for the people that you love the most. Maybe revisit that now that your body is a little bit calmer and a little bit more still. Wherever you are, go ahead and release the legs out in front of you. Let the feet open naturally. Release the arms next to the body, palms facing up. Soften the skin of the face. Soften the jaw, and maybe inviting the eyes to close. Check in with your breath. Notice where you are now compared to the beginning of the practice. Soften the bottoms of the feet. Release any tension from the bottom or the tops of the feet. Release each toe one at a time. Release any tension from the lower legs. Soften the knees and the upper legs. Release any tension from the hips. Relax the stomach. Release any tension from the lower spine, from the upper spine. Release any tension from the chest and the shoulders. Soften the upper arms and the elbows. Release the lower arms. Soften the tops of the hands. Feel the vibration of your body in the palms of your hands. And release each finger one at a time. Release any tension from the neck. Soften the jaw. Release the cheeks and the ears. Release any tension from the eyes and the forehead. Taking a deep breath in through the nose, and on the exhale, relaxing from the top of the head, closing the eyes, softening the breath, and releasing all the way to the bottoms of the feet. For just a few moments, I'll let you rest, and then you'll hear my voice again. you start to hear the sound of my voice, start bringing awareness back to your space. Notice your breath, notice your stillness. Maybe starting to invite small movement into your fingers and toes. And slowly, and as you feel ready, rolling to one side, keeping your eyes closed. As you start to make your way into the side body, resting, continuing to feel the bliss of your body at rest. Perhaps inviting gratitude in for everything that your body is capable of doing, everything that your mind is capable of doing. Knowing that each time we invite stillness into the body, we're also inviting a pause. Learning that that pause helps us to think before we speak, think before we act, so we can think and act with a little bit more patience and love, a little more justice and kindness. So at the beginning, I had kind of shared with you that feeling of overwhelm that I had yesterday just by going to the grocery store. So be mindful about where you are each day, not being afraid of it, just being mindful and noticing. Maybe being a little protective. And then finding ways to move through that so that we don't get stuck there. So knowing that we are all beautifully and perfectly made just the way that we are, sometimes we can feel a little bit complicated ourselves, and that's okay. So start being mindful of what works for you so that we're not stuck in that place of feeling like we're in that pit, feeling like we're in the swamp for too long. This is a marathon that we're in. So learning to find those ways by being mindful about what works for us. And then sharing that with your people, the people that you are in close quarters with. Because sometimes as a parent, sometimes as the adult, if we share what we're going through, it helps give words and feelings to the people that we're around. It gives them permission to be who they were meant to be and fully live in that light. As you feel ready, slowly coming up to a seated position to close our session out. And as you join me in a seated position, bringing the fingertips down towards the earth, sitting up nice and tall, taking a quick notice of where your body is now. And then taking a deep breath in, raising the arms up, gathering this beautiful energy you helped create for yourself and for your people into the palms of your hands. Bringing the hands down to heart center, thumbs to the heart to remind us we are all connected to one another by no mistake. So may you be safe today. May you be well. May you be at ease. May you find a little patience and grace for yourself to share that with those around you. Namaste. The light in me honors the light in you. Guys, thank you so much for showing up with me today. I love getting to share what works for me with you. So hopefully it shares a little bit of myself with you, but hopefully you're getting a little bit more peace and stillness too. Thank you so much for the generosity of helping my little business transform from in-person teaching and private sessions to being able to bring a little bit of virtual yoga and mindfulness as we all are shifting gears and finding new ways. So I appreciate you. I will link some information after this session. Just know all of these are also recorded and they're kept on my business page. So if you're not able to join at 8:30 on Tuesdays and Thursdays, you can always find the recordings kept on my business page until I delete them. And so far I haven't deleted any of them, so there's several up there now. Wednesday, tomorrow, I'll have a 10:30 kids class. That is primarily for like ages 2 to 7, but the whole family can do it. Sometimes it's fun, like the songs are silly, but we go through a lot of different poses. I teach the kids mindfulness and meditation also, and there's also a resting pose that you can kind of gather your little eggs and chickens around you and snuggle with them. And then tomorrow afternoon, Wednesday afternoon at 3:30, I'm going to do a deep stretch and strengthen. My friend told me that she got too much core work, so I can't just call it deep stretch. So deep stretch and strengthen on Wednesday, that's more towards like your older kids, athletes. It's a little bit less yoga and a little bit more stretching. So with that, have a wonderful Tuesday. It is Tuesday, April the 7th. If you're not keeping track, and maybe you don't want to keep track, that's cool too. So have a peaceful day. I would love your feedback. Thank you guys for joining. It is my joy and my pleasure. So have a wonderful day. Bye.